welcome back to the WarZone. Say it with me. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Captain McKay, and we got a lot to discuss here at the top of the show. Things have been really heating up here in JWF, and despite still not locking in a TV deal, we found a way to sneak this broadcast out to the masses. We got ourselves a sponsor, and when the TV station asked, we had to lie and say we were making a show about some guy drinking a bunch of root beer. It was a whole thing. So I don't know what kind of time we're going to have here together before we get caught. Hopefully, we can cover a lot of ground, starting with The Undertaker. Now, you may recall in the last WarZone, we mentioned how Undertaker has been slowly growing more and more terrifying and has seemingly drifted farther and farther away from his humanity. Like I said last time, things have been getting really weird here in JWF, and it's also worth mentioning that the timing of this transformation lines up with when Paul Bearer started becoming a more regular presence in Undertaker's life. Ever since Rite of Passage, Undertaker's been going around with Paul Bearer talking at great lengths about his Ministry of Darkness, which, I gotta admit, I don't fully understand. What I do understand is that Undertaker is currently in a tournament to determine the number one contender for Chris Jericho's Intercontinental Championship. Initially, we weren't sure who the Undertaker's opponent was going to be, and Undertaker let it be known that he didn't particularly care who his opponent would be on this night. But it wouldn't take long before that mystery opponent made his presence known. Let's see what the Undertaker thinks about a mystery opponent tonight.
See, just like all of these uneducated people, you're out here doing nothing more than trying to stir something up.
What is he pointing at me for? I didn't book this tournament.
Anybody who wants to walk down this aisle, well, they can come face to face with the Reaper.
Well, the Undertaker's showing no signs of fear. Hey! Is he really back? Can it be? It is! After a long hiatus, Triple H has made his way back to the WarZone. I don't believe it!
Just in case you've forgotten, let me tell you just who the hell I am. I am the game! And you can bet your ass I'm back!
Oh man, these two going one-on-one tonight, that is going to be intense.
Boy, when you come face to face with all that is evil, all that is wrong in this world, and when you look up into the eyes of death, you will know my name is the Lord of Darkness.
With the return of Triple H to JWF, we now know who's going to be involved in the quarterfinal matches in this tournament. The brackets have been set, with the final match of the tournament scheduled for JWF's next pay-per-view event. Details are still sketchy, but we're ironing all that out. But we gotta get through the tournament before worrying about the finals. Tonight, we will see the quarterfinal match between the returning Triple H and The Undertaker. I can't wait to show you how that match went, because it's unlike anything I've ever seen here in JWF history. Stay tuned, you will not want to miss this. Since we're on the subject, we gotta talk about the Intercontinental Champion, Chris Jericho. Now, ever since he won the title from Shawn Michaels at Rite of Passage, he's been defending the title successfully against all challengers. I got the chance to catch up with him shortly after he first won the championship, and he had this to say. Well, Chris, you've held the Intercontinental Championship ever since Rite of Passage. How do you feel you've added to the legacy and the prestige of the title since defeating Shawn Michaels in that huge match?
Finally, the Intercontinental Championship belt has been restored to the status and the level that it deserves, held by a tremendous technical wrestler and an extremely sassy individual in myself.
Not long after that, Jericho got a minor injury that set him back a little. And for some reason, that's when the change in attitude started setting in. And I swear, the Intercontinental title has some kind of a curse that just brings out the worst in people. The Rock became arrogant and pompous, Shawn Michaels became paranoid and brash, and now it's Chris Jericho's turn. When he came back from injury, this guy was unhinged. Still a capable athlete in the ring by all means, but in his downtime, he's a mess. Drinking way too much of the bubbly, if you catch my drift. It's not uncommon to see him embarrassing himself on social media, and he seems completely caught up in weird conspiratorial ideas. I don't know what to tell you, man. These freaking wrestlers, they're weird. I mean, if this guy's supposed to be on meds, I can tell you he ain't taking them. Let's move on to the former Intercontinental Champion, Shawn Michaels. Now, in the last Warzone, we saw Mankind and the Heartbreak Kid tear the house down in what may be the single greatest JWF match to date. Hard-hitting, high-flying competition with both athletes absolutely punishing each other. After the match, Michaels decided to continue his relentless assault, repeatedly hitting Mankind with a steel chair. Fast forward to present day, and it was Shawn Michaels in a one-on-one match against Christian where he picked up the win. However, this time, his post-match experience would be a bit different. Wait a minute, what is Mankind doing?
First off, I would like to acknowledge the dozens of Mankind fans who sent out their care, their cards, and their letters. I condemn you for ridiculing me, for making fun of me, and I've got a couple suggestions I'd like to make. I think I've got a hell of a main event lined up, and it concerns you, and it concerns me.
Is Mankind challenging Shawn Michaels again?
Mankind, I've got a heck of a lot more guts than I've got brains, but somehow it works to my advantage. Now I have beaten this man, but he is such a glutton for punishment, he doesn't know when to stop. So the Heartbreak Kid is gonna prove that you are nothing more than a loser, and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, will walk out still the icon, still the showstopper, and still the main event.
I think Shawn Michaels just accepted the challenge.
So it saddens me to say that after the beating you gave Mankind, the fans deserve a substitute in that match. So I'm gonna name him right now. As a matter of fact, I think you know the guy.
Wait a minute. This can't... He doesn't mean... Does he?
And I think you know him pretty damn well.
I can't believe it!
His name is Cactus Jack.
I don't think I like Shawn Michaels' chances here. Cactus Jack is here, people! Wow! He just put the Heartbreak Kid down on his face! Cactus Jack tosses him to the outside like a bag of trash! Cactus Jack and Shawn Michaels, what is that match gonna look like? And there you have it. A main event challenge was laid out, and it will be Shawn Michaels against Cactus Jack at our next pay-per-view event. If what we saw was any indication of things to come, I would bet that things are going to be very difficult moving forward for the Heartbreak Kid. More on that as it develops. And now the time has come. It's The Undertaker going one-on-one with Triple H in the quarterfinals of the Intercontinental Championship Contenders Tournament. That match happens right now. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our main event for the evening, and this is setting up to be a real monumental night in the history of our sport. Once again, this is a quarterfinal match for a shot at the Intercontinental Championship, and there is the game! Triple H returning at last from injuries he sustained way back at JWF One Night Only, and man, does he look like he's in incredible shape! And speaking of incredible, I need to give a huge shout out to our sponsor for the night, Between Two Sentinels. These guys have made it possible for us to even be bringing you this show tonight, and I highly recommend jumping into one of their Wednesday night live streams if you're into action figures, collecting, or any other fun part of the hobby. J-Shot and Machu always have great guests, and it's always a good time. Check them out, and let them know that the captain sent you over. Triple H making an impact here in the main event of Warzone, and you gotta wonder, with him being out of the ring for so long, is he gonna be ready to go into such a huge match right as soon as he's cleared to wrestle? Undertaker's been nothing short of a menace lately, and I just hope the game knows what he's getting himself into after being gone for so long. Nevertheless, Triple H is never going to be one to back down from a fight, especially with a prize like a shot at the JWF Intercontinental Championship on the line. And here comes the Phenom. We've seen some very upsetting behavior from The Undertaker in recent memory, and I suspect Paul Bearer's influence might have corrupted him in some way. I can't be sure, but I'm telling you, something's different about The Undertaker. And the dead man now making his way to the ring with Paul Bearer at his side, as is the arrangement these days. And Triple H seems to be showing no fear as he stares a hole in the Undertaker before this match gets underway. The lights are on and this match is about to begin. And look at the game, just applauding the theatricality of The Undertaker. I'm sure about two things in this world. Number one, we're going to get thrown off the air again. And number two, Undertaker cannot be amused by Triple H's mockery. And the disrespect continues, but Undertaker has him by the throat. Undertaker looking for a choke slam early on, but the game is able to free himself. And now Triple H sends Undertaker off the ropes and into a huge spine buster. The game has started strong here, and it doesn't look like he's missed a day of training leading into this match. Paul Bearer watches on as Triple H... No! The game looked for an elbow, but the Phenom sat upright and avoided the contact. Undertaker taking a moment to regroup now as he goes in for the assault. Triple H thrown to the corner, and now Undertaker just pummeling him with those huge right hands. Triple H really needs to get himself into a better position as the Undertaker just chokes the life out of him with that huge boot. And there's the break. I know Undertaker wouldn't want to be disqualified so early on, but apparently he's not against high risk at this time. Undertaker walks the top rope and what a clubbing blow, sending Triple H back down to the mat. And now the cover, 1, 2, kick out at 2 by Triple H. Paul Bearer watching on as The Undertaker continues the assault. But wait! Triple H able to dodge the punch and connect with a neckbreaker. And now it's The Undertaker's turn to be on the receiving end of some punishment as the game sets himself up for success. And there's a huge knee drop right onto the head of The Undertaker. You can bet that rang a bell in The Undertaker's head, probably just like the one in his theme song. And Triple H is not done yet. Paul Bearer is trying his best to distract Triple H, but the game isn't having it as he lands a huge suplex on the dead man. That much weight crashing down to the canvas, but no, just a 2 count for Triple H. Now Paul Bearer offering the urn to The Undertaker, but wait, there's Triple H again to continue the fight. Undertaker off the ropes once again, but he was ready this time with a huge running DDT. And the game is down. 1, 2, no. Close 2 count, but Triple H is able to get the shoulder up. And now a blatant choke from The Undertaker. The game's struggling as the referee counts, and Undertaker is forced to release the hold after 4. And this time it's Triple H off the ropes, and he dodges the big boot, and there is the big running knee, sending Undertaker to the mat. Undertaker being thrown off his vertical base, and now is Triple H's chance to capitalize, and he sets up. Can he? Yes! Triple H locks in a figure 4 leg lock. Lots of inspiration from Triple H's idol, Ric Flair, and The Undertaker is now in a world of trouble. The gang knows that the longer he keeps the hold on, the more damage that Undertaker's legs will sustain. Paul Bearer now frantically trying to encourage The Undertaker as the dead man desperately continues reaching toward the ropes. Meanwhile, Triple H just keeps wrenching that submission hold in. And can you even imagine if The Undertaker submits to this hold? What a dominant victory that would be for the game. But it's looking like The Undertaker's closer and closer to the ropes. Yes! Undertaker able to grab the bottom rope, and now Triple H forced to let go of the figure 4. Triple H broke the hold in time for the count, but I believe the damage is well and truly done. The Undertaker's legs have got to be in absolute agony right now, and I wonder how he'll be able to continue as Triple H and Paul Bearer have some unpleasant words with each other as The Undertaker gets to his feet. And the dead man now definitely showing signs of injury as he favors that leg. Still, he's able to get behind the game, and it looks like... No, can he? He's got the game by the throat, and there's a huge choke slam. Triple H driven to the mat, but Undertaker's too hurt to make the cover. And now he points Paul Bearer's urn. What? What is that light? Some kind of light just came out of the urn, and now Undertaker seems to be glowing. Wait a minute! Undertaker just stood fully upright. Triple H is trying to recover from the chokeslam, and The Undertaker appears to be walking perfectly. How is this possible? Triple H is beside himself. He knows how badly hurt The Undertaker's legs should be, and yet, did that urn do something unnatural to Undertaker? The game now face to face once again with the dead man, and no! Triple H just sent back to the mat. I can't believe Undertaker's even able to walk. This is unreal. And now a huge leg drop, but no! Triple H luckily had that scouting. And Paul Bearer now, he's climbing to the apron as Triple H sets up. He's got him! Triple H has the pedigree set up, and this one will be over. Wait! What was that light? Paul Bearer just blinded Triple H with that light, and there's the reversal from Undertaker. The Undertaker now calling for the end as Paul Bearer looks on. How is this happening? Undertaker, can he? He can! Tombstone pile driver. Incredible! Undertaker goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. This one is over. The referee calls for the bell, and Triple H has just lost his big return match. I don't even know how to explain what we just saw. Paul Bearer using the urn to blind Triple H before he could hit the pedigree, which allowed The Undertaker to capitalize with the Tombstone pile driver to finish the match off. And I still don't know how The Undertaker is even able to stand. There's no way that the dead man should be on his feet after all the punishment that Triple H dealt out with that figure 4. Hang on, Undertaker's pointing at Triple H and Paul Bearer's nodding. Triple H now comes to his senses, and just like all of us, he's got to be trying to figure out exactly what just happened in this match. And look at the intensity on Triple H. He knows something isn't right, but I'm not sure what he thinks he's even gonna... Wait a minute! Triple H is just floating in midair! Is The Undertaker doing this somehow? What? What the hell just happened? What did we just see? Triple H was just levitating before Undertaker did something, and now Triple H has collapsed to the mat, unconscious. Undertaker and Paul Bearer celebrating in the ring now as we've got medical attention at ringside to try to make sense of all this. As the show ended and JWF Security of the Shield were helping Triple H get to the back on the stretcher, I was left absolutely baffled. What did we just see? What happened in that ring after the match? Was it some kind of sorcery, witchcraft, demonic magic? I honestly have no idea, and to tell you the truth, I'm pretty scared of what we saw in that ring. Like I told you the last time, JWF is getting weird, and now you see exactly what I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a hell of a time here tonight, and I don't know the next time we'll see you. So if you enjoyed the show, please like, subscribe, share, comment, anything you can do just to let the network know that they should stop throwing us off the air every 5 minutes. Write your representatives in local government. Tell them to pay me to make JWF shows just like this instead of going to my bum-ass day job all the time. Whatever you can do to spread the word, just let people know that JWF is a good time. I know we'd appreciate it. Until we meet again, my name is Captain McKay, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later on.